You're correct?
Yeah, that's what I told her.
Okay. Do you have any credentials?
Yeah, but I don't want to provide that right now.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
Because it's optional, and I just don't want to provide it right now.
What's that?
Because it's optional.
If you have to provide credentials to what you're going on, and you have to report it to the dispatch center that you're out here.
No, but I didn't tell you that I told her. I gave you the courtesy by telling you what I was doing here to dispel any fears, and yet you still went and called the cops on me. You just said you went there. You're the only person who I told what I was doing, so it is you.
Welcome back to channel. An ordinary day quickly turns into a tense confrontation when a man becomes the subject of suspicion simply for sitting in his car too long. The police arrive, a concerned neighbor steps in, and a heated debate over personal rights unfolds. This is a story of law, fear, and prejudice. Will freedom prevail over baseless suspicion? A seemingly ordinary day quickly turns tense as police approach a man parked by the roadside. A woman has reported his presence for 4 hours, but he insists he has done nothing wrong. When asked for identification, he refuses, citing his legal rights. The conversation begins with skepticism, yet neither side is willing to back down just yet.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Corporal Blatt with the Millsboro Police Department. The reason why we're making contact, some lady came out to report that you've been sitting out here for over 4 hours.
Okay.
And we're just trying to find out what the deal is, what's going on.
I'm sitting here minding my business, not doing anything.
You got any credentials?
I'm not going to provide that, just because of a call. Brownsville, Texas.
You told her that you're correct?
Yeah, that's what I told her.
Okay. Do you have any credentials?
Yeah, but I don't want to provide that right now.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
Because it's optional, and I just don't want to provide it right now.
What's that?
Because it's optional.
If you have to provide credentials to what you're going on, and you have to report it to the dispatch center that you're out here.
No, but I didn't tell you that I told her I was. I'm not telling you that I'm one.
Well, this is private property, you know.
What is private property?
What is private property?
This roadway here?
This road is private property.
How is this road private property?
Because it is. It's a development. It's run by the HOA.
Where's the signs that says private property? There's no signs that says trespassing there. There's a public street, and there's no signs that says private parking there. Or private property. There's absolutely no signs. There's none.
There actually is, probably out in the main entrance.
Where?
So I actually know where the HOA person lives.
Well, over there is probably private property, but not here.
This is a private property road.
This is not a private property road. This is accessible from the public. That's a public street there.
It might be accessed from the public, but this is private property.
Well, no one asked me.
This is an HOA run development.
No one asked me to leave. Hey, can I have your name, please?
It's Officer Shockley.
Officer Shockley and Officer Bullock.
Oh, can I get a badge number?
1098.
Can I get a badge number?
1082.
1082, okay. Yeah. So even if it's private property, the owner has to ask me to leave, and this is a public street. I already did a GIS survey. I already did it.
Investigator, we can also remain out here until you're completed your investigation. So
it's a free country. I mean,
you're right.
Of course. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm not gonna.
What she's worried about, she has a child that's out here, and people abduct kids.
But did she accuse me
about that?
Did she accuse me of abducting anyone?
No, but she's worried about it. It's a safety.
I'm worried about a lot of things too, but I don't be calling the cops on people for every little issue. If there's no crime, unless there's a crime, right?
You're right. Yeah.
Well, your tag doesn't come back to anything, so I'm going to be running everything else.
So, if you don't mind me asking, what are you investigating?
Huh?
What are you investigating? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just don't like to identify just because someone calls. You understand that? I just don't like to identify just because someone called. Brownsville, Texas State, absent RAS. There's no probable cause for you guys to get my information. And that's the reason why I don't want to call. I know he's going to probably want some retribution because I know my rights. But I'm not asking that lady to identify. I gave her a courtesy of telling her what I'm doing here when she approached me, and I thought that was the end of it, but apparently not. I didn't have to. I could have stayed silent and not say a single word, right? And it's my right
Do you
not to
understand
identify.
why she's concerned?
I have a lot of concerns too, but if I'm not breaking the law, right? Should I identify? Should I just give up my Fourth Amendment rights?
Well, no one's asked you for your information.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
That officer did.
Well, you don't have to give it to him.
I know,
Right.
but you heard what he said just now.
What?
I have your tags. I'm going to run your information. I'm going to run everything. Just because they invoked my rights. You think that's fair? I'm not doing anything
you're parked
wrong.
on a public street.
Yeah. A lot of people parked in a public street. That car is parked in a public street.
So, you're right. It's a public roadway. So you can park here. We're more concerned about what's going on.
Yeah, but I dispelled your fears.
Yeah,
I said
you're right. Okay.
what I'm doing. You guys have the tags, so now you know, right? And not a single person reported a crime. They're just a suspicious car. Suspicion is not a felony or a misdemeanor.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
That's why we made contact with you.
Exactly. And I'm talking to you, right? I didn't have to say a word. I could have just stayed silent the entire time, but I'm not that type of rude person who just doesn't say anything. We're all humans, right? So I prefer to just communicate a little bit, but I'm not gonna give up my rights just because of her fears. At no point in time did I trespass on anyone's property. I stayed in my car. This is the safest place I can be.
Yeah, and I told you why we made contact with you.
I heard you.
Okay.
I heard you.
So,
yeah. But
do you have any questions?
yeah, am I gonna be is there gonna be some sort of retribution just because they invoked my rights by this guy here? I understand. You sound reasonable. You sound like a professional, honestly. There are not too many cops who are professional like you and level-headed.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
The tension escalates as the police claim the road is private property, but the man immediately disputes it. He demands clear proof, while the officers assert their authority. Neither side is willing to give in, turning the conversation into a test of legal knowledge. Is this a case of community protection, or merely an unfounded act of harassment?
You're right. It seems like you know your laws.
Yeah, I'm very much aware of all of them, yeah.
But no. We're good to go as long as you don't have any more questions.
Yeah. And you can verify I'm not disrespectful to either of you. I just want to invoke my rights and be left alone because I will try to tell people, okay? If in my neighborhood someone parks a car, they're there for several hours, of course I'd be concerned, right?
Yeah.
But what I would do is just document their license plate number, take a picture of the car, but I'm not going to call the cops on someone for no reason.
Yeah.
You know, if I see them trying to sneak into someone's property, well, that's a different story, right? Mm-hmm. But someone just sitting in their cars, you know, I gotta understand their fears can't trump people's rights, you know, to just be here on a public street.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I wouldn't do that to your son. I mean, I'm just assuming you have a son or whatever. No matter what color they are, I wouldn't do it. And maybe that's something that people need to be aware of, you know?
Yeah, but you got to understand the day and time we're in.
Listen, it's always been danger from way back then to now. We're in the safest times we've ever been in right now with the level of security that we have. Okay?
Yeah.
Things were worse back then. We have a lot of security. There are cameras everywhere. The minute you call a cop, they're here.
That doesn't mean things don't happen.
No, things do happen. Don't get me wrong. But nothing is happening here. Right? And things happen everywhere. So we can't be calling you guys for every single little thing. Imagine if everyone did that. You guys would be stretched thin. Right? From one call to the next. To the next, to the next, to the next. Imagine that. We gotta use... We gotta be rational and think about when we call the cops, man, instead of wasting resources like this. Say, ma'am, hey, do you have the license plate number? We have the tags, and we'll send an officer just to drive by and observe. And I think that's how it should be.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, I hope you agree and understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I hear you. But I'm going to get out of here, okay?
I appreciate you, man. All right, do you have a car? Can I get the CAD number? I want to request that 911 call and hear exactly what that person said.
So they came to our police department.
Oh, they actually came all the way there?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, the incident number then, so I can...
Let me go get it for him.
Thank you. 24. All right, thanks for your professionalism. I'm surprised she actually went to you guys, because normally I never tell them what I'm doing. I gave her that courtesy and she still went. So you see the reason why I don't talk to them? I don't tell anyone why I'm here. They still call the cops regardless. It's a waste of time. So.
All right. Well, you have a good one.
You too, man.
Suddenly, a woman appears, her voice filled with frustration. She claims the man's presence is making her daughter feel unsafe. Despite his explanations, her suspicion remains. The exchange quickly escalates into a heated debate about fear and civil rights. Is her concern truly justified, or is it just another case of baseless prejudice?
Hey, buddy. This is a lot of attention in front of my house. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just wondering why all this attention in front of my house. I don't feel...
I gave you the courtesy by telling you what I was doing here to dispel any fears, and yet you still went and called the cops on me. You just said you went there. You're the only person who I told what I was doing, so it is you.
No, I told my neighbors that's why you were here, because we've all talked.
Well, I'm not doing anything illegal, and I didn't even have to tell you what I was doing. I could have stayed quiet, left my windows up, and not said a word to you. But I chose to be respectful to you, because I saw you had a kid, let you know why I was here. But still, they called the cops on me. This is the reason why I never tell anyone what I'm doing.
I can't speak for what other people do. I wasn't even home. I left and I'm here, and then I got two cop cars in front of my house.
Domino effect. You told someone, and someone went and reported me. So
that's what a neighborhood does. We take care of each other. Who's
well, you can say, well, he's here for a good reason. At least that's what he said. Let's just take a picture of his car.
We got little girls. We got kids. And
I got kids in my neighborhood too, and I don't call the cops on people who park there. And you know what I do? I take note of the car, take a picture and document the license plate number and a watch.
Yeah.
There's no crime until there's a crime.
So what you'll need to do, and here's the problem. This is a private roadway, but the only thing is what he's saying. If the HOA has signs up saying that it's private property,
yeah,
or soliciting. We actually, if we had that up there and signs were on there, we could actually pull them out of the car and lock them up. Criminal trespass.
No, they can't do that. You'd have to give me the opportunity to leave.
We don't have the signs up there. There's nothing that we can do to take action right now.
Mom, let me tell you how trespassing works. You'd have to give me the opportunity to leave, okay?
Exactly.
And he said he would pull me out of the car. You see what?
No, I exactly said.
You see what happens?
We would have to give you the chance to leave.
You see what happened? No, he didn't. What was his words exactly? We could have pulled him out of the car.
Let me.
But I'm just saying, you see why you don't call cops?
Let you know and find out what's
because
going on and
ignorance is bliss, and people like this cause harm to innocent people like me who are doing nothing wrong, like pulling me out. And I will sue their department from now till to the end of time, okay? Especially
Sir,
him.
I misstated the term, okay? What I said, we would make contact with you, okay? And then if you refused to leave, then we would take action.
That is the correct procedure right there, not yank me out of the car.
I'm sorry.
All right? There's a proper procedure. I'm very well aware of all the procedures, okay? So that's why certain things can't fly by me. I know my rights.
I just want my daughter to come outside and feel safe in our front yard. That's all I'm asking of you right now. That's the only thing I'm asking is for her to be. This is where they play. There's all this street here. Will you please, with all the courtesy, just move there and you can.
And then what? Have that neighbor call? When I'm right down here and you're aware of what I'm doing?
But nobody's outside over there.
What difference would it make if I park on the other side of the street, opposite your house? How does that make you feel safer? Can you just explain that to me?
My kid doesn't want to come out. I talked to her about stuff, and it's just...
Mom, please teach your daughter the law and people's rights and tell them I'm not here to cause them any harm, okay?
It's not.
I didn't even want to...
We don't know that.
We
don't know who you are.
I don't know who she is. What if she has a body in her basement right now? Do you know that?
No.
Okay, I don't know that.
Listen to me as a mom. You see, you're.
I'm a father, okay?
Well then, as a father, listen to me as a mom speak. I'm a mom, is what I'm saying. I know what you are.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, my child came home, and she's got 2 police cars, She's asking me who the car is. She heard me ask you who you were. You said who you were. I've got neighbors calling me, asking me who's that in front of your house. So they think it's me.
Okay.
And I calmed them by saying what it was. Well, nobody wants the girls to come outside and play because of all the wrong in the world. Not saying that you're doing it, but we'd be dumb if we just sent our daughters out here all willy-nilly to be snatched in a car.
Okay.
So now my daughter is nervous to come outside. That's all I'm standing here saying to you now because you're parked here.
Sure.
And that's abnormal for this neighborhood.
It's abnormal for a car to be parked with someone just sitting in a car.
Yes.
Let me ask you.
For 3 hours, yes.
All right, let me
Yes,
ask you a
sir.
question now.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question now. You know what the Bill of Rights is?
I know exactly what it is.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Maybe you should teach your daughters about the Bill of Rights and people's right to do this, okay? And not only that, hold on. The cops came. Whoever called the cops, they came. Would she feel safer now that they came, they made contact, and they're about to leave, and I'm still here?
No, she's
Why wouldn't she feel safer?
Feel uncomfortable because there's a man she doesn't know, as far as she's concerned, just sitting in the car for nothing.
You know why that logic doesn't work? Because a lot of cars drive through here.
The woman, just sit there. I'll call them and tell them you're watching them, and then they won't do anything, so it'll be a waste of everybody.
I'm not watching at your kids. Are you serious?
After intense discussions, the police decide there is no reason to detain the man and leave. But the story doesn't end there. The neighbor remains upset, highlighting how fear is often fueled by ignorance rather than reality. This situation teaches an important lesson: personal freedoms must be protected, and suspicion should not outweigh the truth. A just society is one where the law, not personal emotions, determines right from wrong.